Once upon a time, girl singers were very much typecast. They were brash, raw music hall comedians with loud Cockney, Yorkshire, Lancashire or Scottish accents. Or they were the stars of frothy musical comedies with sweetly pure, rather small voices. Or if they aspired to it, they were singers of concert ballads of the Goodbye, Parted and I Passed By Your Window variety. That is until there came a diminutive blonde named Elsie Carlisle. She spent some 3 years with the magnificent all-star Ambrose Orchestra, and with her seductive voice she could croon her way dreamily through a ballad or fling herself exuberantly into a comedy routine, complete with drama and dialect, excelling in such classics as No, No, 1,000 Times No and Home James and Don't Spare the Horses.
One night at a swell affair, she was dressed in her best Sunday bustle and wore a rat in her hair. Her lover was not tall or handsome, but he was a terrible flirt. He spent the entire evening making up to every skirt. Angrily she reproached him, he heeded not at all. So she in her best Sunday bustle went flouncing out of the hall. She swept down the steps so majestic to her footman standing below, and in accents loud and clear she told him where to go. Home, James, and don't spare the horses, this night has been ruined for me. Home, James, and don't spare the horses, I'm ruined as ruined can be.
Home, James, and don't spare the horses,
this night has been ruined for me.
Home, James, and don't spare the horses,
oh, I'm ruined as ruined can be. We're still in the gay 90s, it is the very next day. Our hero's forlorn cause his girl's gone and don't know just what to say. He thinks that he'd better do something to win her again for his own. Cause she was his very best sweetheart, she was always good for a loan. He goes straight to her mansion and says, forgive me, dear. And as he tried to embrace her, she gave him a boot in the rear. He swept down the steps so majestic, and her footman booted him too. And as they threw him in the brougham, she said, to you. Home, James, and don't spare the horses, drive right through the main part of town. Home, James, and don't spare the horses, he'll stand up 'cause he can't sit down. Home, James, and don't spare the horses, my lover is just a bit tight. Home, James, and don't spare the horses, he shall sleep in the stable tonight. Lovers, we were more than sweethearts, it's so hard to understand. Don't know why it happened, don't know how it started, why should we be strangers after all we've planned? can't show my face, can't go any place. People stop and stare, it's so hard to bear. Everybody knows you left me, it's the talk of the town. Every time we meet, my heart skips a beat. We don't stop to speak, though it's just a week. Everybody knows you left me, it's the talk of the town. We sent out invitations to friends and relations, announcing our wedding day. Friends and relations gave congratulations. How can you face them? What can you say? Let's make up, sweetheart, we can't stay apart. Don't let foolish pride keep you from my side. How can love like ours be ended? It's the talk of the town.
Recorded on December 11th, 1934, we heard Elsie with the Ambrose Orchestra and Home James and Don't Spare the Horses, and followed that with It's the Talk of the Town, also with Ambrose, and recorded at the Embassy Club in London in October 1933. Elsie was born Amy Bruton in Didsbury, Manchester on January 21st, 1897, and took singing lessons as a child from an elderly lady who had seen her in a school concert and had assessed her potential. She wanted her to study opera, but Elsie was only interested in the popular songs of the day, and fancied following her elder brother Tim into show business. So she quit lessons and practised alone at home until she felt good enough to venture out on tour as a singer-dancer. After she left school, she played number 2 theatres for 10 years with little success until she chanced upon a lucky break. She had come to the notice of Captain Humphreys, one of the owners of the Café de Paris, who considered using her as a cabaret act there, so he arranged to meet her for lunch to discuss it at the Café Anglais. He brought along a friend, Gerald Cock, head of outside broadcasts at the BBC, who was impressed by her speaking voice and thought she would sound good on radio. He arranged an audition for her, and as a result of which she began broadcasting in 1927 and was given a solo recording contract with HMV, making her debut with Coming Through the Cornfields, accompanied by the then unknown pianist Carol Gibbons. It was a stroke of luck that she met Carol because they were both at a showbiz party when she was asked to sing, but had no music with her. He offered to accompany her and transpose the songs into her key, and they became close friends, eventually singing together on a record, a strange match with her soft and his husky voice. He had not long arrived from his home in Boston with his friend saxophonist Rudy Valley, both to join the Savoy Orpheans. Here's Elsie with Carol at the piano, and they give us the Harry Warren tune, You Gotta Know How to Love.
Nobody's hard to get, who can't be gotten yet, so listen. Each lovesick fall. If you have someone who appeals a lot to you, there's one thing you might as well know. I'll tell you. You got know how to love them. You got know what to do. You got know how to gaze in their eyes. Sigh, little sigh, lie, little lie. You got know what to tell them. Whenever there's a beautiful moon above, they're bound to fall, and all they need is a shove. You got know how to love. to do. You got no when to buy babies this, buy babies that, buy babies hat. You got no how to please her with little things the baby keeps thinking of. But if you want to hold your sweet turtle dove, you got no how to love. You got no how to love her. You got know what to do. You got know how to hold them so tight, treat them just right, kiss and don't bite. You got know how to please them with little things the baby keeps thinking of. Say I've had 3 and you can take it from me. You got know how to L-O-V-E. You got know how to love.
On the eve of a holiday abroad in 1929, Elsie received a telegram from famous showman C.B. Cochrane, inviting her to appear in a big show called Wake Up and Dream, which he was about to present at the London Pavilion. She was to appear with Jack Buchanan, Jessie Matthews and Tilly Losh, and had been specifically chosen by the composer Cole Porter for the particular quality of her voice to sing the theme song, What Is This Thing Called Love? She became a star performer and was besieged with offers to appear at charity events, private parties, recordings, concerts, and to even kick off at football matches.
Kid's a crooner, though he's only 2, he sings boo-boo-boo-boo. He has no troubles, and when he blows bubbles, there's a boo-boo-boo-boo. I'm really anxious for my child's recovery, yet all the papers say he's a child discovery. Instead of dada, he says ha-cha-cha and a boo-boo-boo-boo. I'm really worried, to doctors I've hurried about his boo-boo, boo-boo-boo-boo-boo. I think I'll write Bing Crosby, ask him what to do to stop my kid from crooning boo-boo-boo-boo. got me sighing again. What is this love all about? I'm in, I'm out. Your kisses right from the start came from your lips, not your heart. You make me happy and then somebody new looks good to you. You've got me crying again, just crying for you.
We heard Elsie there with Ambrose and his orchestra and My Kid's a Crooner from January 3rd, 1935, and from May 5th, 33, You've Got Me Crying Again. Elsie went on tour with her male counterpart in the band, Sam Browne, accompanied by pianist Bert Reed and Slim Wilson, when Ambrose left the Mayfair Hotel after refusing to accept a salary reduction in July 1933, but they rejoined him at the Embassy Club in April 1934 and had still continued to record for him. They remained with the band until August 1935, when they went on tour again, but they separated in November of that year when Elsie continued alone and Sam teamed up with the Rhythm Sisters. Elsie was voted top female vocalist in the Melody Maker 1936 poll. Here's two more examples of her comedic ability. Together with Sam Browne and the Ambrose Orchestra, she gives us Gertie, the Girl with the Gong from March 1935, and then No, No, 1,000 Times No from November 1934.
A motorist was driving home from being out to dine, and he was feeling fine. He didn't spot the sign when suddenly he passed a car and heard a funny sound that made him look around, and this is what he found. A girl was struggling hard to put a helmet on her head, but held it up instead, and then she sternly said,
I'm Gertie, the girl with the gong, and I watch your car speed along. If you do more than 30, then Gertie gets shirty and tinkles a song on the gong. Oh, beware when you're driving along, for the law says that you're in the wrong. If I dress as a cop and I call you to stop, oh, I'm Gertie, the girl with the gong.
Now, are all the girls of the Gong Gang here? Answer to your name. Harriet Hall?
Present?
Katie Claxon?
Oh, it's a half day old Sergeant.
Trissy Tireburst?
Present?
Annie Axel?
Sure, Sergeant darling. Annie doesn't live here anymore.
Pansy Puncture?
Present?
Gertie Greasegun?
I'm here, Sergeant.
Elsie Carlisle?
Here I am, Sergeant.
Now, have any of you got anything to report?
Yes, please, Sergeant.
Well, what is it?
At 6:23 r.p.m. yesterday, I was executing my duty in a plain van, disguised as a piece of furniture. A motorist passed me travelling at 30.003 miles per hour. I sounded my gong, and going up to him with my helmet tucked underneath my arm, I taxed him with his terrible offence. The accused then made the following statement.
Listen, sweetie, your hair wants doing, but you look rather sweet for a policewoman.
So I said, young man, I may not be a beauty, but I do my duty. So he said,
How about forgetting your duty for tonight? Maybe you and I could talk this over somewhere where it's quiet and dark.
And what did you say to that Constable Carlisle?
I told him that he and I could possibly talk it over before a magistrate. Then he tried to put his arm around my waist. And when they picked him up, I said, I'm Gertie, the girl with the gong. And I'm going to take you along. And in the cells you'll regret that you started to pet with Gertie, the girl with the gong. I am a child of the valley, an innocent maiden, you see.
And I am a desperate Desmond. I own all the town property.
Though you pursue me through hill and through dell, you know I'm wise to your game.
Now listen, me gal, you will wed me or else...
No, never, for think of the shame. No, no, 1,000 times no. I'd rather die than say yes. You are a poisonous villain. Why don't you leave me alone?
Either you join me in wedlock, or else I'll kick you out of your home.
Oh, you know my people are feeble and old, and they need a roof for their head.
Our winter will soon bring the cold and the snow.
But I'll defy you till I'm dead. No, no, 1,000 times no. I'd rather die than say yes.
At night I'll creep up to your window.
And I know how you can creep.
And I'll steal you out of your boudoir and kidnap you while fast they sleep. I'll tie you down to the old railroad track when the milk train is rushing downhill.
I know, you villain, my future looks black. You buzzard, my answer is still. No, no, 1,000 times no. I'd rather die than say yes. I love the young village blacksmith. A muscular he-man is he. If he knew his love was in danger, right to the rescue he'd be.
Here I am, darling, in the nick of time, to take you and make you my wife.
But I warn you, blacksmith, this maiden is mine.
Away with you, not on your life.
Asses!
No, no, 1,000 times no. I'd rather she'd die than say yes.
This is the end of my story. My honor is left without stain.
I'll take you straight to the altar. The villain will foil once again.
Curse you!
I'll pay the mortgage for you, my sweetheart, and we'll live with your folks right away.
And I'll be contented, though simple and plain, and no more will I have to say. No, no, 1,000 times no. I'd rather die than say yes.
Sam and Elsie joined forces again for a third tour in February 1938, accompanied by Len Edwards and Don Phillips. It would appear that during this tour Elsie suffered from a distressing ailment, and Sam had to nurse her with great patience and affection to enable her to continue. Their biggest success together was appearing in the 1935 Royal Command performance. Elsie became seriously ill in January 1939 and was unable to work for many months, but she recovered enough to sing for the troops during the war, and she did some more variety appearances, solo, with a show of her own called Carlisle Express. For our final offering in this program, we hear Elsie yet again with Ambrose, and a recording originally banned by the BBC. She recorded Please, Mr. Hemingway, November 22nd, 1932.
You'll find that I'm the sort that likes a little sport, but there's a limit, nevertheless. There's something in your eye that seems to warn me I had better beware of your finesse. I can understand when you hold my hand that it's love finding a way. I don't mind you feeling thrilly, but when you start acting silly, please. Mr. Hemingway, it's so plain to see you appeal to me. When you're near, my heart must obey. You're so sweet and so delicious, but when you get too ambitious, please. Mr. Hemingway, I love affection, but we're all alone. And there's one objection, if we only had a chaperone. I don't mind the park when it's nice and dark. Neath the moonlight, I love to stay. I adore you when you're gentle, but when you get sentimental, please. Mr. Hemingway, I love a brave man with big He-Man stuff, but not a caveman. So remember not to play too rough. Being kissable is permissible. When you steal a kiss, it's okay. And I don't mind your osculation, but my dear, my operation, oh please, Mr. Hemingway.
After the war, she gave up singing and was apparently involved in the ownership of a ballroom in Tooting, southwest London, for a while. But she spent most of her time quietly at her home, which was described as the smallest house in Mayfair, situated just behind the Dorchester Hotel. She was often seen exercising her two pet dogs in Hyde Park, and she owned a kennel of greyhounds, but seldom had time to see them run. During her career, Elsie recorded for Ambrose, Lou Stone and his Durium Dance Band, Jack Harris, Arthur Lally, who incidentally wrote the arrangements for Ambrose's comedy numbers, Harry Hudson, Jack Payne, Oscar Rabin and Ray Starita. She also recorded solo for HMV, Columbia, Decca and Dominion. Elsie passed away in London on September 6, 1977, aged 80. The life and music of Elsie Carlisle was written, produced and narrated by Alex Hare